I'm rocking out to that song. How about it? Welcome in, everybody. Fun fact, me and Ray's band used to cover that song. So I had some flashbacks there, a little memory. Who gives a fuck about what I do? Oh, there goes our monetization, me throwing F-bombs already. Let's welcome everybody in. We're going to talk about some wrestling, play a little game show with the boys from the WrestleSense podcast. And even in the digital wrestling world, they're making waves. They'll be fighting next Tuesday for the G6 Gladiator 6-man tag champ. So you guys out there know what we're talking about. CJ, Doc, and DH Bruiser. Plus the digital wrestling cards. I started releasing them yesterday, and there will be WrestleSense digital cards with stats on the back and everything. So I'm looking forward to releasing those for you guys. You guys seem to enjoy them so far with only 6 being out there. But we're going to talk about 6 things tonight in our 6 senses, or one segment tonight. We're going to pile in a bunch of good stuff, but Monstar's in the building. Good to see you, my friend. Wally. All right, Wally's here. Kelly's here. Some stupid place named WrestleSense is here. Oh, hi, Doc and the rest of his staff and assistants. How nice. Doc has a black screen right now. I hope he gets that fixed. Clinton's in the building as well. Welcome in, my friend. Welcome in. So let's get to it. We got one pay-per-view to talk about. We're getting ready for a bunch of stuff, and we're gonna mix in a little Super Bowl talk, just a little. What's up, CJ?
What is up, my guy? Quick sidebar question for you.
Sure.
You said you shared stuff out, but I'm not seeing on my Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook that I was tagged in anything the past 2 weeks.
Oh, it's everywhere. I haven't been tagging you guys the way.
Oh, that's why. Okay, that's fine. I'm used to.
I share it and then I send it to you guys in the chat. Which,
yeah, okay. You haven't tagged. I just wanted to make sure everything was working.
That's me,
properly.
not you. It's me, not you, bro.
Because I was just looking at like my notification settings and shit to make sure that Monstar is Doc's bitch.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
In mine.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling? You had your first match. You're getting ready for more. Are you still working out on a regular basis back into the old repertoire, your regime now, back to what you used to do?
I mean, I feel pretty good. I've hit the gym 0 times, so we're doing good there. But I'm focusing more of the new, I guess, version of the snapshot to have some more like psychological warfare. And you know me, like when I first started, I was all about, I need to hit this spot. No, I want to tell a story so the fans can get connected and feel the emotion, which I'm sure we'll get into on some certain things about that exact topic later on.
Yeah. If you guys missed last week, we did break it down a little more about the local scene. We talked about your match in 2PW. We talked about HOG with Riley, but there was some stuff that went down in IWC recently, right?
There was, yeah.
The big show this past weekend.
Coleslaw Carter. I mean, like to send that kid packing back to AEW.
So I mean, and I was just talking to you before the show about the Super Indy. I'm not up on it as much, but CJ, you were the first one like 20 years ago, but now that's
20,
a title where they 22?
Yeah, 2022 something years ago. Yeah, something. It's been a long time.
So they do the tournament, but if you guys that don't know out there, they do defend it throughout the whole year.
Yes.
Before they reset it for the next tournament, right?
Correct. Yeah, and if the current champion obviously would be in the tournament, say they win the tournament, then they just remain the Super Indy champion, and if not, a new champion gets crowned. So
that's awesome. That's busting Doc's balls because he can't get back in.
No, screw him.
It's more fun with just me and you anyway. All right, so we have 6 topics to cover today. So our first segment, which we'll be kind of breaking up into 2, we're going to play a little game later on, trivia. So you guys in the chat, I know a lot of you guys are high up on wrestling trivia. We're going to test you today to see how you do. So let's get to the 6 senses, which your WrestleSense is your opinion on wrestling. We might think you're right or wrong, but you're right no matter what.
I'll probably think you're wrong.
You're allowed to have. See, now we're getting blamed that we're trying.
No, I will agree with something that Monstar said.
This one?
No. Where'd it go? About people subscribe. Yeah, that one.
Very true. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
please do.
I can. I'll sign off on that.
We begin a couple every here and there. I mean, it
Yeah.
is. You guys in the chat really do help. I say this a
Oh,
lot
for
on the other
sure.
streams. When you share it out, you never know who's going to see it. And we're just talking wrestling. I don't want to do what all the other shows do. We don't go over match by match and break it down. I'm not telling you what move. Go watch the shows if you want to. We like to do a little different and have fun with it. And we got some fun stuff planned for this year to make it even funner. We're gonna show how entertaining these guys can be. You guys have seen me for years, but Ray, all the way back to the Real Deal podcast, used to make me laugh so hard with their skits and stuff. And Doc always says some funny shit, right?
Yeah, like how his computer doesn't work.
Well, if you've ever listened to him on commentary, I'm gonna blow some smoke now. You have some great sayings, some great, you mix in the real world into your commentary so to make people laugh even more. I really love it. That's what I think when I think of commentary, when people go the extra mile to bring you a little more with the commentary.
Yeah, definitely. You have to mix it in. I mean, I learned that from Mono Ronaldo, so he does that a lot.
I miss him.
He was great.
Ronaldo.
I miss him big time.
Ronaldo was always awesome at doing that, and I said to myself, well, what if there's just some raunchy shit in there? And it kind of worked, I mean, my R. Kelly jokes are good,
I have a very
too over the top for me.
A corny saying that I say with my channel. Our WWW around here is wit, wordplay, and wisecracks.
Yeah.
Our 3 I's are idiots, idioms, and innuendo. We got a lot of innuendo and idiot. So that's what makes it even more fun. So Joker, Monstar, you guys get your trivia ready, Wally. We'll get to that in a little bit. Let's go back to was it Saturday? I don't even know what I ate yesterday. Saturday. NXT
It was Saturday.
Vengeance Day. And I was telling CJ before the show, when I watch an NXT pay-per-view, I know these are guys, they're not developmental, so to speak, but kind of towards WWE. I don't expect a lot. This show blew me away. From the first match, which was Wesley and Dijak. Everyone's seeing the broken
match of the night.
It was so good. Doc, did you get to see the whole thing of Vengeance?
No, I did not see how he broke his finger. I just saw pictures.
So if you haven't, make sure the Wesley Dijak match is a must watch.
Yes.
I was so impressed by the ring work, and just those two just blew it away.
If I could nitpick something.
Sure.
The match itself wasn't bad at all, but with the Apollo Crews, Carmelo Hayes being 2 out of 3 falls, and then Carmelo just went in the first 2. I like it because it's different, but just have it be a singles match and have Carmelo win.
You're right. Normally when there's a best of 7 or a best of 3, 2 out of 3 falls, they go to the final fall all the time. Yeah. So it was a little something different. They teased the breakup, which they got the breakup on Tuesday of Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. We'll show a little bit of that here in a second too. But I just had to mention this show. The Grayson Waller Braun Breaker match was great. I really thought a couple times that we're going to have a new NXT champion. And that was when they told me the match was a no escape cage match, that's what I liked.
Oh, I don't nitpick.
Go ahead. Sure.
No,
I like criticism. That's what we're here for.
I think that Henley and what's her name, didn't they beat Katana and Carter?
They're the new
I
tag
don't
champs.
like it because they are an established tag team and they're established as champions, and those other two were just kind of thrown together. I feel like it's too soon. Unless Caden and Katana are heading to the main roster, then I'm more than okay with it.
Good point. Yes, they could have still done the story they're doing without them winning the championship, which is Carter. I mean, the two that won the title, one's still good and bad. One wants to cheat and the other one doesn't want to. And that dynamic that's there, they didn't have to win the titles to do that, but we'll see where it goes.
I just don't like when thrown together teams like that, and I think I could be wrong, but I feel like this might have been their first shot at the women's tag titles. Sure. So, yeah.
And the 4-way tag match was pretty good, too. I was kind of had the feeling that, New Day's time down there was done. And
I like Gallus. I do.
I do, too. The crowd was so hot for Chase U, and Thea Hale is amazing.
She's a lunatic. I love it.
She's so much fun to watch. She's always fun. I want to know how many
awesome.
cups of coffee she drinks every day. Tell me that much. But Chase U is so over right now. in NXT, and the fans were cheering. I really thought they were going to get the title. Maybe we'll see Chase U and Gallus go at it for a while or something. But NXT got it going on, man. I got to give
it was good. It reminds me more and more of the old black and gold.
Yes. So this is what most people were talking about.
Monster, she is 19, I believe. I know her. She's a Pittsburgh girl.
There you go.
So yeah.
So this is what people were talking about. Not broken, separate. I had this pinky finger, kind of the same thing. It was up over here once catching a football, and it hurts. But he toughed it. This is the best one you're seeing everywhere. Is the middle finger. It happened to be the middle finger. That's a great picture.
Happened to Bray Wyatt apparently too.
Well, you say you don't know what I'm doing. But
I really don't.
No.
I don't.
Bray responded with, "Yeah, me too." And there's Bray Wyatt's hand. So your segues are great, man. We couldn't have planned it. It seems like we planned it.
We haven't planned that. No. I promise you that.
So yeah, separated finger, and it was. I can't express how much I love that match, and I don't really praise a lot of this stuff too much. I don't. Unless I'm really impressed by it. Speaking of cards and the holiday coming up, we got a Valentine's Day card from good old Doc. How did this come about, my friend? And where can I get a box of them? I need some firewood.
IndyWrestling.us put all these wrestlers, and they were out there. I was just looking through them, and then all of a sudden, someone's like, "Yo, you know you're in that, right?" And I was like, "What? No." And I looked, and I was like, "Holy shit, I made it." I figured Tony Kincaid, since he has stock in IndyWrestling.us. would have one, but I guess I know he'll have something to bitch about.
Monster, yours is in the mail.
Yes,
yours is
yes, it is. Yes, it is. His comes with chocolates and everything because he's the man. He appreciates me. Only one.
There's a special lower part to the card for Monster.
They couldn't find a card long enough. But what I was saying is, like I was saying. It was, like I said, it was a cool thing. I got to see all these guys who deserve to be, promoted out there, muscles out, just belts held, everything like that. And then there I am, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. It made me feel good. Made me feel really good.
So you didn't know?
No, I did not know. It was a surprise.
But Doc, I can promise you one thing.
Well, go ahead, CJ. Insult me.
You're sensational.
Oh, he's not wearing pants in that picture either.
That was my card. I was giving you another segue that you dropped the ball on.
Oh, fuck. That's right. Buddy, I didn't memorize it. But yes. CJ has his own card.
See, Doc sent me his card, but I didn't get one from CJ. So you know who gives a shit about me on this show. Yeah. Thanks a lot,
I got
CJ.
a special Valentine's gift for you, bud.
Oh, boy.
Appreciate it. It's all about timing. Yeah.
All
right. Let's keep it moving as we have. There's Gigi after that.
Oh, she got kicked hard.
That kick didn't. I seen the clip of the kick. It did not look that bad.
Well, her face tells a different story, my friend.
I see.
Yeah, and that can't be makeup. You know how they could say, "Oh, that's makeup." No, that's brutal. Look at her throat, like her neck too.
Yeah, I love it.
Like she was thrown into that door.
Should be.
Was she supposed to go through the door maybe or something? I don't know, but that
that was from the door? Okay.
Yeah, she was thrown into the door, and then I think that's the boot on her face because that boot landed.
Yeah, the camera angle maybe then that I saw wasn't the best because it looked like it was a snug.
She got kicked on the other side though, and that part where she hit the inside of the door, just a frame with the door in it. It hit there, yeah.
I mean, it looked like she was legit crying from that boot because she was like sobbing, like one of those. Either that or she's a damn good actor.
I'm gonna say she was damn good seller.
Damn good seller too, because that's her best friend. Her best friend stabbed her in the back. I mean, it was the perfect storytelling. Why wouldn't she cry? How much of a run have they had? Toxic Attraction, and then boom. So
but let's be honest. Without Mandy, I agree with splitting them up.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. I mean, that's a good way to do it. And
I do miss Mandy. Also,
she can show her ass and tits somewhere else.
Okay.
Jericho Cruise. Let's talk a little bit about it. Every year he's been doing this. I'd love to go on one. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's not cheap. And you got to probably get the tickets now for next year. We'll talk about that. But
I don't know.
Yes, they're already on sale.
Yeah,
they are.
I got a slide at the end where the announcement of the next one is. But this one was supposed to happen last year, and they moved it to February. I've been on. Have you either of you guys been on a cruise before?
No, I'd love to.
I'd love to go on a cruise too. It's just I have a wife who is petrified of like water, like being out in the sea like that. So.
It gets a little weird when you're out there and you can look and you don't see any land anywhere, and it's miles and miles of water.
I just worry for me, not the copious amounts of drinking that goes on. That doesn't bother me. But if I would get my money's worth, because I don't drink anymore with the all-inclusive type.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
it's
saying?
a good point, because that's where a lot of the money in the all-inclusive is the fact that you can drink alcohol as part of it and everything. But
limitless, endless alcohol.
The idea of putting a wrestling ring on the top and doing it is just I think it's
badass.
Genius. I think it's genius. And it was a couple days. I mean, and it wasn't just wrestling, as you see. It's the music acts. The comedians,
Jeff Dye and Brad Williams,
magicians and comedians and concerts. If you like concerts as well as wrestling, they did a little wrestling thing. I think every night there was a couple hours of wrestling, and the stars. The fact that you could just be walking around the boat and be like, "Oh, look, Mark Henry."
Yeah, right.
So I think it would be cool to go on one. I mean, so you guys out there can donate to the channel to send all four of us to.
Or I got a better idea. Hey, Jericho, book me.
Yeah, there you go. But if you guys haven't noticed, I was wondering if Ray is watching. I'm not sure if he is.
I'm at a black and white gala. So no, I am not watching.
Thanks for the update,
That's
Ray.
Worn out like my underwear.
Ooh, we don't need to know about your underwear. But just a couple more pictures I thought were cool that I saw online about the Jericho Cruise that is interesting. There's a shot of like a concert on top of the boat. And,
that's Fozzy.
I mean, there was so many amenities.
That was Fozzy.
The only bad thing about my experience when I went is it was with my wife. It was a honeymoon. We went to Haiti, Grand Cayman, Mexico, Jamaica, all these different stops. So that would be cool. So from what I know, they do go and do a stop on the boat and then come back. But this is a nice little tournament that they had for the Oceanic Championship. And it came down to, I don't know how Flip Gordon got the buy into the
stop. They didn't stop anywhere at this time because there was a rain delay or some kind of real bad winds or something. This was verified by somebody that was on the cruise. They actually had a backup plan, and they had Q&As with different wrestlers, and they made it fun for everybody just in case, because a lot of people were probably upset they couldn't get off the boat. But
well, yeah, you can. We know Jason from the wrestling podcast. That wrestling podcast went, and looking forward to seeing. So I saw some of his pictures from it. We'll see from his experience too when they do their
balled out. I'm just going to say it now.
He always does.
He has the most drip. He has the most drip of everybody on the podcast.
So this came down to Matt Cardona, and he won, and he had a little entourage there with him. He's the new Oceanic champion to add another belt to his collection. Apparently,
I love it.
But just these shots of seeing like water behind and the sky, it's such a visual that I would love to experience it. I don't know if health-wise I'd be able to go the whole time, but I'd like to.
I hate to tell you, you don't have much of a choice.
No. Backing out of something like that would really.
I actually watched this on YouTube. They actually had this whole match.
Oh,
if
really?
You guys go to, they had a link to it. It was awesome. It was so cool how they did it.
So I got a couple pictures from it basically where they come out and Jericho was cursing people, which I think is funny. I'm a huge Jericho fan, so I'd be down for this, for just that. I didn't need a million different wrestlers. Just Jericho on a cruise would be fun. And then
look at Danhausen just in all like, great. Wow. Look at he's doing.
It had to be fun, man. It had to be. And this is a crazy shot. It looked like a drone shot or something from the top.
That's wild. I dig that.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
And to experience that on a boat would be weird. I mean, I hope you don't get turbulence during this is from an old one, but just a shot of the sunset while you're watching wrestling on the top air. And it doesn't look like there's too many bad spots. They have a little balcony, like you can see from everywhere. And they packing those people in there for this.
I think I'd rather be up on that little balcony.
Me too.
I wonder if they did it. I'm sure. You think they did a balcony spot?
I don't know.
Who knows?
So I guess the way that Guns match with Jericho Hausen is the Acclaim came out and they ended up scissoring each other and stuff. So.
Oh, okay.
Also, Hacksaw Jim Duggan came out.
Yeah, that's right. Duggan was in it. I thought I had a picture of that.
It was a good time. I really, when I see the videos and I see the pictures and I see everything, not just from Jason but from other people too, it's something that everybody should do.
That wasn't a drone shot. It was from the Chinese.
I agree with Vince. He's got a valid point there.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Shout out to Vince McSham. I like to call him Voice McSham, a guest of the show. And speaking of I saw this and I was like, speaking of a bunch of celebrities in one show, holy shit. Now, a lot of them are older wrestlers, but I mean, you got Honky Tonk Man, you got Gangrel, you got so many people, the freaking Fantastics, Enzo, Rob Van Dam, Sting, of course, one of my favorites. But this is big time wrestling. Do they always have this many?
Not this. I guess
that's a lot, though. That seems like
do.
more than
Right.
I normally see. So that's March 11th. I'm gonna keep my eye on that. That sounds like a hell of a show.
Where's it at?
Chillicothe,
Ohio.
Where the hell's that at?
Ohio.
Yeah,
somewhere.
but yeah, goddamn. Is it past Cleveland, before, after? I don't know.
Who knows? All right, we'll go into our third segment, and this is what a great week of promos. We'll go back. We'll start with Friday, and talk about specifically two of the promos. Before that, how about this? Do we read into this at all? She took all the WWE stuff out of her social media.
She might be doing it to either A, throw people off, but I can't see her going anywhere else.
Neither, really.
I can't. So, but then again, never say never.
Someone said that this isn't the first time she's done this. So
It's not. It's not.
Yeah. So I just thought it was interesting to see that she changed everything and people were talking about it. It's a good way to get people talking. Mm-hmm. So Friday night, obviously the thing that sticks out right here is where no Usos, obviously no Jay, no Solo, and the shirt is just him and Heyman.
Yeah, I dig it.
So I like that. I mean, this has been the most intriguing story in wrestling for me in a really long time. And this year it went to another level, which we'll actually talk about as well. But this was Roman coming out, doing his spiel, and the next thing you know, this hooded guy, what a pop that he got for this attack, huh?
Yeah.
Everybody loves the underdog, man. And the thing is, Sammy right now is portraying that underdog role that Daniel Bryan once had, if you really want to get technical. He's becoming the new Daniel Bryan. But in his own right.
He's an underdog. I really don't.
I mean, do you think he's going to get the belt? We'll talk about Chamber next week when we preview it, but you think he's going to win then, CJ?
I mean, I'd like to see that happen. Jay will not be there.
That's right. Neither of them will be there at Chamber.
More possibly, but
they can work that out and be there. But we all know there's reasons why they don't go to Canada.
Yeah, the same reason why I can't go to Canada.
So Sammy's attack on Roman, and then Roman treating him like a little kid in the corner, scolding him and yelling at him, and so intense. I mean, it's like I can't praise this enough. And everywhere people were praising it, and rightfully so. I mean, I haven't seen anybody go, man, the Bloodline story really sucks. I haven't heard that anywhere.
Better. I mean, I think Eric Bischoff even said this. I believe I saw a tweet that he thinks this has been a better story than the NWO.
Well, when we get to this next part, I want to talk about that because I have a little comparison, but I don't want to directly compare it because it's completely different. So Roman poses with the belts and everything, and Sammy, that's good. He should dress as underdog.
No,
some old people would get that.
I get it. We all get it.
Yeah. Underdog.
Some of us boomers. There was another promo.
Yeah.
When this picture, there was Brock talking about, he always thinks about Bobby Lashley, but then he goes to bed, and then 5 hours later, he thinks of Bobby Lashley. Brock, I love face Brock. I did since he came back with, talking about the things.
I feel like we need a Blue Chew sponsorship just for that slide alone.
It doesn't seem like, it seems like Brock is just going out there being himself talking. It doesn't seem like it's maybe a bullet point or two, but he's just out there
real.
It's
real.
So normally a fight that we've seen a couple times, I wouldn't really look forward to, but I'm looking forward to these two fighting come Chamber.
Yeah.
And what I'm really hoping that they find a way. I don't know if Gunther loses the title somehow so they can fight at Mania. I really want to see those two fight.
I want to see Sheamus. I want to see Sheamus and Gunther one more time, and I want to see Sheamus actually capture and get his WrestleMania moment.
Maybe they do that before Mania. They deserved it, man. I really want. I mean, they could do Summers.
I don't think there's anything in between Chamber and Mania. I don't think.
No. Then maybe Brock Gunther at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It has to happen. It has to happen. Oh, SummerSlam's in Detroit, isn't it?
It is.
It is.
It is.
Oh boy. So then we had this.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, when you think it's good and it can't get much better, they took this to another level, man.
Best segment on Raw ever.
Yep.
And if you've been a wrestling fan for a long time, the tie with Dusty Rhodes, I mean, just a couple things that I had to take notes about. His family was broke. Hard Times was more than a promo. They went back to NXT and all the people that Dusty brought up, and that he trained and prepped Roman. Roman, the son that Dusty always wanted. Take it personal. And someone said this on a podcast the other night. I really love it. They could bill this match as Dusty's greatest creation versus his son.
I would not. Okay. Yeah. I was going to say the thing I took from this that you didn't even cover, and I thought you would.
Go ahead.
Is my favorite part was Heyman saying, "This isn't about Dusty. This is about you."
Yeah.
Which needs to happen, because if Cody wants to separate himself from being Dusty's son, this needs to be about Cody.
Oh, there's a good one. Put Lesnar and Brock in a fight pit at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
They both have MMA background. Yes, the layers to this, like I said, just when you didn't think it could make it better. I mean, Doc, tell me what you're feeling after watching this promo.
Well, yeah, two different Dohertys watching at the same time. You had me, who understood like where Paul Heyman, the heritage with Dusty from WCW, the Dangerous Alliance, who with the phone, everything, and just watching him kind of break down, because I think Cody caught him off guard with that. I really highly 100% Cody caught him off guard with that story, because I think Cody's been waiting to tell him that for a long time. Mm-hmm. Just the simple fact that he still referred to him as Mr. Heyman from when he was a kid. I thought that was amazing. And then right at the end, when you think it's going to be just this real shoot, lovey-dovey, Heyman just turns that corner on you, and shit.
And that's why he's one of the best at what he does.
Yeah, he is. Now he is the best.
I said this in my tweet too, for those out there who, and this is my opinion, you can disagree with me if you want to. I know there's some people that do. If anyone out there who thinks that Cody Rhodes cannot be a face of the company, top tier talent,
you're wrong.
This and the things he's been doing since he came back, in my opinion, they are wrong. He has proven it. He's not just Stardust. Mm-hmm. He's so much better. And here's the thing. Here's my NWO comparison, just a little bit. Back in the day, what really brought the war between WWE and WCW to another level? It was that big name when Hogan and the boys came over and created the NWO. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing I'm saying right here, and take it with a grain of salt, hate or love it. I don't like to compare AEW and WWE a lot. I like to think there are two different types of shows that I like that just both happen to be wrestling. But Cody coming over, this is not Stardust. This is not Evolution Cody. This is
Cody.
This is
the American Nightmare.
The indie and AEW version of Cody that evolved back into this. So, and he's even getting in his interviews, he'll talk a little bit about AEW. So I think some of those super loyal WWE fans that don't watch all the other wrestling, that don't pay attention to social media, now they're like, AEW. They might check it out more. So this does nothing but elevate AEW a little bit as well, in my opinion.
It's best for the wrestling business in general.
That's basically where I'm going at. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the crossing of the promotions, if he didn't join AEW, they wouldn't be that little tie-in. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to.
They're trying to maybe recreate the Monday Night Wars, or however you want to call it. You know what I mean? Which is a good thing, because it's going to cause both companies, performers, and all around to work harder and harder to improve each and every week.
It's only good for the business, like you said. Big shout out to Jason from That Wrestling Podcast. We did just talk a little bit about the Jericho Cruise, which I know you were on. So I look forward to hearing your story about your excursion with the Jericho Cruise too. So since you mentioned that too, I want to talk a little bit about ratings and why I don't like to focus on ratings, number one.
Can
and why I don't
someone
compare.
correct me if I'm wrong? But Wally, I don't believe Dustin is retired just yet. This is going to be the tail end of him. I think this may be like his last year, but I don't believe he's actually retired yet.
No, I think you might see him fight even more. But to see him come over, I mean, how great would it be to see Dustin in the crowd when Cody wins the title at Mania?
It'd be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
Just to have him in the crowd.
His contract is up pretty soon, I believe.
So here's the thing. People, AEW, we'll talk about a little bit here at the end, did 900,000 or something last night. And we'll talk a little bit more about it. But I'm tired of these people thinking that they need 1 million.
No, they don't.
Why do they need 1 million? They're the number one show on their channel every week.
On Wednesday nights, yeah.
They are the number one show. Why comparing to a company? Let's go outside, compare two companies, one that's been going on for 30, 40, 50 years and one that's 5 years old. I mean, why? I get it. The whole, like you just said, it's best for the business when they do kind of compare a little bit. But to me, they're two different shows.
Yeah, absolutely they are.
And why expect AEW to come anywhere close to WWE's ratings? I don't.
No.
WWE is the monarch, the
here's
greatest
the thing.
spectacle in wrestling.
They don't need to.
I don't think they do. The competition is good, but there's really no competition right now. It's different. Yeah. But I tell you right now, to me, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are really fun in wrestling right now. Yeah. All 3 nights are fun watches. And I'll even throw Tuesday in there a little bit because of what NXT was doing. AEW Dynamite last night. I think I might have something else before that, or is it right into the coverage? Oh, yeah, they named him Trench.
His face looks like it was dug out of a trench. Jesus Christ.
Have you seen a picture of him before the tattoos?
What's that?
No.
Have you seen a picture of him before the tattoos?
No.
He looks like a guy that would go to church every Sunday, and
This is another one too. And I talked about last week when he destroyed that throne last year. If I told you that Triple H would book him to win the Rumble the next year or 2 years after, you'd think I was crazy.
Yeah, you were high.
Yeah, wrestling world's crazy. Impact's got a good product too. I don't want to keep them away from
I like it.
So all 5 nights of wrestling, man, it's too much. I can't watch it all, but I'm enjoying it. So let's talk. I think he's next. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, last night. I don't want to seem like a AEW show, but I was super entertained by this show last night, start to finish. People complain about the blood, but here's my thought. With AEW, to me, you get a little bit of everything. You get good mat work. You get high flying. You get brutality. You get a hot crowd. You get great music and entrances, which is big to me. You don't get a lot of fluff. Like you don't get highlight after highlight of what happened last week. Here's what happened yesterday. Here, I don't need all that. We are so conditioned, in my opinion, to what WWE product gives us because that's all we had for so long. That people are like, oh, the stories aren't good in AEW. Well, don't expect what you get in WWE in AEW. I mean, do you guys kind of feel the same way or what? CJ?
I might get heat for this, and I think Daniel Bryan tweeted out something or did an interview about something. AEW is a wrestling show. WWE is not a wrestling show, if that makes sense.
It's a spectacle. I've said it before, WWE, no one can come close to the spectacle that they put on as a show.
But it's not focused on the wrestling always. When I look at
AEW, you get fights. You get fights. I don't even like to say wrestling. They are like fights. Doc, do you where are you at on the stance with all this?
I just like them both, and I just watch wrestling, have fun watching it. I don't try to smarten it up. I don't try to dumb it down. I just want to have a good time and watch it with my son.
Amen.
You know what I mean? And then,
Amen. And I've learned to ignore a lot of social media and just, fabricate my own opinion. So on this show last night, MJF and Takeshita, I've said it a million times, Takeshita's a star. And MJF doesn't fight a lot, but that match was, I don't want to use the word banger because everyone uses that. So
it was a top 10 match.
It was a great match. MJF showed he's not just a great promo. He's also a great wrestler.
And here's the thing. He's smart. He doesn't need to wrestle all the time. And just the backflip from that clothesline off the top last night, people were probably getting like, oh my God, I didn't remember that he's that effing good at wrestling.
Yeah. And then
he landed on his feet. That was on.
I would have never thought he was going to. I thought he was going to
No.
get hurt or land on his face.
Yeah.
Then we got his promo where when you're talking about, and we're talking about promos earlier too, when you're talking about making yourself out to be the bad guy, a piece of shit, an asshole, talking about being in a car wreck and switching seats with the girl next to you so it looks like she was driving. Liv.
Yeah, Morgan.
So, I mean, and that passion he cuts his promos. I mean, how many times have we talked about a great MJF promo? I mean,
so why do you say Liv Morgan whenever he described Liv as short brown hair, brown eyes, when Liv has?
Now she does. They knew she's from New Jersey and he's from Long Island.
She's not a blonde.
They were friends prior to.
Oh,
So that could have been a little tongue in cheek.
Oh,
You like my tongue in cheek pun?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bodie just looked at me. I was like, I'll explain sometime.
He's got a jawbreaker in his mouth, you should say, or something. Candy.
I said they were making out.
Wow.
See,
I mean, I never thought.
Yeah, they
by
was
Mike.
making out with that. With that.
Do you guys remember when Shawn Michaels was coming down the ring a long time ago?
Yes.
And he's fucking with a fan and he went like
Yeah.
this. And he did this.
Yeah.
So that's what it reminded me of. I'm like, holy shit,
Yeah.
he just did that. I'm not a Bunny fan, but Jamie Hayter.
I am a fan of the bunny. She's one of the sweetest people alive.
Roosh and Brian
You
Danielson.
got her at the end of there, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, she landed right on her head.
Yeah. Roosh
Like,
and
you can
Brian
see the
Danielson
concern.
was. Everyone's talking about the blood here. Some people think it's too much.
I don't think it is. That's just my personal
either.
opinion.
It's not in every match, but like I said, I think an AEW show they give you a little bit of everything.
And whenever you see it, there's meaning behind it, in my opinion. It's
Yeah,
not
like, if you look
bleeding just to bleed.
Takeshita, that was just to get the heat on MJF to show him how ruthless he is. If
Mm-hmm.
you look at Bryan Danielson, basically the blood was to describe and to show everybody out there the trials and tribulations that he is going through to get his hands on MJF at that pay-per-view.
Mhm.
So, the blood that was in both those matches, it was a symbolization of something. It was part
agreed.
of the storytelling.
You wouldn't think that blood is tasteful, but I would say the way they've used blood is very tasteful.
And we don't get that on WWE. If you get blood in WWE, it's a legit injury that they got cut
Yeah.
because they're not blading over there. Or
It
stuff.
adds to the storytelling and the character development and everything in my
But you're not
opinion.
getting 5 matches of blood in one show.
No,
You're not getting
no.
5 high-flying matches in one show. They do
Mhm.
break it up.
Yeah.
Speaking of high-flying, the 6-man match, I think, was
It
incredible.
was phenomenal. It was
Um,
phenomenal.
and I don't mind those high spots and stuff like that because, like I said, it's not the whole show.
But here's the thing where I think the Young Bucks have gotten so much better because they would always catch shit for, they're just so spotty, blah, blah. But, I feel like their storytelling, not that it was ever bad, I feel like it's improved leaps and bounds with them
True.
being able to work the high spots into telling the story the way they do.
I gotta watch. I haven't been watching BTE for a while,
Yeah.
which is always fun. I love the humor. Then the main event, we got new tag team champs. A lot of people are hating on it, but I think we're supposed to hate it.
I actually don't hate on it because they wanted you to believe, I feel, that Billy was going to turn on the Acclaimed. So they switched it up into something different, which I thought was still very good. But I feel like there should be a rematch and then Billy turn and go back with his boys. with
And
the
to
Ass
me,
Boys.
that's a great story they've been telling for a good
Yes.
while with these guys. And for those out there who say AEW doesn't do stories, it's different stories. Don't expect WWE type stories on an AEW show. They're trying to be different. And
It's a story. No one could
It
say
is a
it's
story.
not.
It's definitely a story. Doc, what do you think about new tag champs and the story between those two teams and the lifting up the guns?
I like the simple fact that they caught you off guard with it. There was no
Amen.
build up. It was like, oh, it's the guns. They're probably gonna get beat up again, and then boom, look what happened.
I love to be surprised. Amen.
And I know one disappointed 8-year-old, real disappointed. But what are you gonna do?
And they teased, I think, we'll find out more, I feel, come April whenever FTR decides what they're going to do. But, I mean, you saw, I think it was a tweet or whatever after they won the title saying Top Guns out.
Yeah. I miss FTR. I do miss them a lot. Don't realize it until you start thinking about it. They did make the announcement, though, on Friday. We'll hear from Mark Briscoe. That's interesting. I wonder what he has to say. His direction coming up soon, and that should be a fascinating little segment. And I'm glad they're doing that because, you know, Friday nights on Rampage haven't been that noteworthy. They've been doing a little bit better, but maybe to finally hear from Mark Briscoe, maybe get a little more eyes on it. Who knows? So let's have fun here on our last little segment. We got 2 more of the 6 senses to go over. We're going to test the trivia knowledge of these 2 clowns and the people in the chat. Let's have fun with the game show. I got my game show host background on, so we're ready to have some fun. We're going to talk a little wrestling trivia, and we are going to talk about firsts in pro wrestling history. We're also going to tie in the Super Bowl, which we got the Eagles and the Chiefs coming up this Sunday. I'll be doing a little digital wrestling live stream while it's on. Join us. We got people with their favorite teams will be fighting each other, so that'll be fun. Let's get into the questions and see. You guys in the chat can answer too. I'm pretty sure you guys will get some of these way before we do, but here is our first one. This is our fifth of the 6 senses here today. We got one final segment at the end. So, sorry, Doc. Franchises without a Super Bowl win. There are a dozen of them.
Go Birds,
including those Falcons. So. I hope the Browns never get one.
Okay.
But you look, some of these teams are doing better. The Bengals, the Lions had a good year. Jaguars,
Buffalo.
Yeah, so Buffalo. So some of these teams, man, they had 4 in a row. They lost back in the day too. Buffalo. Oof.
Thanks, Jim Kelly.
Is that better than losing from 28-3 lead, Doc? 4 in a row.
I don't know. Suck my dick. Could we please get
on?
on?
I'll move on.
Whoa!
I knew I got to get under Doc's skin first. He's a Falcons fan. For those don't understand. There is a bunch in the chat. Wally, Jamar. I know we got a bunch of Falcons fans out there with you, so you're not alone, Doc.
This is the only time you'll ever hear me say "Go Birds."
Yeah, I'm hoping for a good. I got a lot of Eagles fans. I'm in a little group with a bunch of Eagles. I did a stream with them earlier with the NBA trade deadline today, which was a blast. Big shout out to all the guys from the Hardcore Sports Network. Good bit of Eagles fans there. So if the Eagles wins, I'll be happy for them. But Chiefs got a great team too, man. Let's get into the trivia.
I just don't like Mahomes.
I don't like the rest of his family. I don't mind him. What was the first match in WrestleMania 1? Doc or CJ? Either you know?
I have no fucking clue.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say Special Delivery Jones versus King Kong Bundy.
Anybody out in the chat? The first match not the main event, the first match in WrestleMania history, WrestleMania 1.
Or no, wait, Tito Santana versus the Executioner.
I kind of
either one of those two. It's one of those two.
I want to say Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and somebody.
Doc got it.
Yeah.
Your second guess, but
was it Tito? Okay.
Yes, sir. Tito Santana and the Executioner. Vince got it.
Yeah, do you know who the Executioner was?
No.
Randy Macho Man Savage.
Nah.
It was what it was like. It was a gimmick. Yeah, that's what I was told.
I don't know. I think you might have been misfed some information.
Okay. That's what I was told.
I don't know. Shenanigans.
It's a word.
March 31st, 1985 in New York was the first WrestleMania. And there you have it. Big shout out to Vince McSham, who does a trivia show. I was a guest host there for one of his.
It was Buddy Rose. Okay, thanks. I just someone told me it was Macho Man before, and I was like, really?
Ooh, they're getting you now, Doc. Look at all this Buddy Rose.
Yeah, let them get me, man. Let them get me. That's what someone told me. Someone told me the original was sick, and he filled in. I don't know.
You need to rethink your friends.
Hey, I just learned something though. That's the benefit of it. We just learned something. All right. Number 2, and you guys will probably catch the trend of where we're going with these questions here as we go along.
All
right. Question number 2. Who was the first ever Hell in a Cell match?
Shawn Michaels and Undertaker.
Wasn't it Mankind and Undertaker?
October 5th, 1997 in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's see if the chat. Yeah, Doc, you got it right on the cue this time. Vince got it too. It was for the number 1 contender for the WWF Championship. First ever Hell in a Cell match. HBK and The Undertaker at Bad Blood.
Oh, yeah.
See, I'm terrible at trivia. I can't remember what I ate yesterday, let alone what happened way back then.
I'm just shocked I got that. So
That's a good one. That's a good one. The debut of Kane, yes. Debut of Kane as well.
Okay,
yeah, it was because he ripped off the door and went after The Undertaker.
That's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be.
1997. All right. There's a little trend starting in the winners as well. Hey, Andy Price got it. There you go. Wally, you thought that was hard? I think that one was the easiest one.
I didn't think it was hard, but I thought, yeah.
Damn it, there it is.
He was the Executioner at one point in time, though.
Yes.
Maybe not that match, but he did.
Thank you, Kelly. But I remember. I remember he had something to do. Oh, well. Thank you, Kelly.
Well, we know he was at one point in time.
Yeah, at one point in time he was. Okay.
First ever ladder match.
Oh, Christ.
Sean and Razor?
Close. Portland, Maine. The WWF Wrestling Challenge show is what it was on.
The first one that mattered to me was Sean and Razor.
First ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship.
All right.
Close.
Intercontinental?
Yep.
Would it be Greg the Hammer Valentine and Junkyard Dog?
No, you were closer the first time.
I didn't. What do you mean closer the first time?
Monstar got it.
Did he?
You had Michaels right.
Yeah.
It was Michaels and Bret Hart.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. First ever ladder match. So there, Andy got it too. Shawn Michaels, a lot of firsts for him, huh? He was in the first Hell in a Cell and the first ladder match. I did not know that until I did this research. So kudos to him. And I was never a big Michaels fan. Hate me.
All right, I got two so far.
So I sung his. I used him in one. I did a pop-up stream the other night, and we had fans pick matches, and then I had to sing "Sexy Boy, I'm not a boy, boy, boy."
Hey, Blaze, do you know why they pay people to make his music? So you don't have to sing. Oh,
worst theme song of all time.
It's like listening to two kittens fuck while being microwaved. Could we please go?
Battle of the Mullets. There you go. Kelly's on the roll tonight. That's a wet mullet there for.
Oh,
nothing better than a wet mullet, huh?
It's got to be moist.
Yeah. Who is in the first ever Survivor Series match?
Fucking no.
This is a tough
Too many
one.
people to remember.
Yeah.
It was 5-on-5, so we'll see if the chat can get it. Since we see if our chat knows.
Was Strikeforce one of them?
Ted DiBiase.
They may have been. No DiBiase. You guys shout names out. I'll circle them if you get them.
IRS.
Rick Bartel.
No Martel. No IRS.
Tonka.
Nope.
Jerry Lawler.
No Lawler.
Dusty Rhodes.
No Dusty.
Little People.
A bunch of masked night dudes.
Kamala the Ugandan Giant.
Nope.
Andre the Giant.
Nope. He's not one either. There's 10
Just
right
Stud?
answers.
Yeah, and I've got 0 of them. Okay, so
It's November 28th, 1987 in Richfield, Ohio. We were just talking about Chickahominy. Chipotle, Ohio. Where the fuck is Richfield, Ohio?
In Ohio.
Nobody in it. See, here's the thing. The longer these questions go, people are Googling this shit. Like you, Clinton. I know you Googled it because that's exactly correct.
Oh, well.
Clinton wins the Google Award. Savage, Jake.
That's it. Phew.
There you go. There's the one team, which is Savage, Beefcake, Duggan, Jake, and Steamboat, and they beat Danny Davis. Remember Danny Davis?
I liked Danny Davis.
Danny Davis was not a bad worker.
Wasn't he the ref turned fighter?
Yeah.
You got a little connection there.
He's big. I don't know if he still is, but he was like an integral part of Ohio Valley Wrestling as well. Him and Rip Rogers.
And the one I'd never get is Ron Bass.
The Outlaw, baby.
Yeah, Outlaw Ron Bass.
Clinton, I'm not playing the game. I'm the host, dude. Pay attention, my friend.
Okay, moving on.
I miss those. I mean, that really makes me. That picture alone makes me want old school Survivor Series matches again.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Triple H. You did War Games last year. Let's bring this back, please. The first entrant in the first ever Royal Rumble, January 24th, 1988, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.
I know who won it, but was Hacksaw the first person?
Hacksaw did win, but he was not one or two.
He was the number one. He was 1 or 2.
So who was 1 and 2?
Was Tito Santana one of them?
Yes, he was number 2.
Okay. I knew that.
Number 2.
Martel?
Nope. I'll give you a hint. We've already said his name.
Michaels.
No.
No, not that.
The other one. The other one that we've already said.
Bret Hart.
Yeah, Wally got it. There it is. Bret Hart was number 1. Tito Santana number 2.
Well, you gotta give me some credit. At least I got 2.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I'm the host.
Who does number 2 work for?
And there was only 20 in the original Rumble, not 30 or 40 like the Ultimate one.
You gotta think Pat Patterson for that, Jim.
So we have a recurring theme here with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels in these questions. Props to them for being in all these first matches. Here's the breakdown. I know it's tough to read, but this is the breakdown of that match. Dino Bravo.
Butch Reed. Okay.
B. Brian Blair. The
Jumping Jim Brunzell. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Boris Zukov.
Boris Zukov was a man.
But here's the other thing. The only thing I want to point out in this is we have our first Iron Man, which was most eliminations. One-man gang with 5 eliminations late.
Okay.
A one-man gang was a beast within it.
Yeah. I loved him when he was in, what was it? UWF.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't like Big Boss Man, but I loved Big Bubba Rogers. Rogers.
What was on ESPN? Was that
World Class or AEW? AWA was on ESPN a long time ago.
Was it UWF too, or there was
UWF
global? There was a bunch of different at 4:30.
Dr. Death was in UWF and Missing Link and a bunch of them.
Because I remember watching wrestling on ESPN when I came home from school.
Hell yeah, that's the first ever Rumble. So we got one more. And then we have our final little segment. So one more, the last one, and this is heading into next week. We'll be covering the chamber. Who was in the first ever Elimination Chamber?
I don't fucking.
I love CJ. You should have hosted with me. You like
Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
Goldberg.
No Goldberg.
Rock.
No Rock.
H.
Triple H is another one.
Shawn Michaels, Triple
H. Bret Hart wasn't.
No Hart.
No Hart. Elimination Chamber first ever.
Someone who made his return to the Rumble. It was one of the surprises this year in the Rumble.
Booker T.
Yep.
That's 3.
And the guy who's on.
Clinton already Googled it.
Yeah.
He Googled it. There you go. Jericho, Kane, RVD. Kane. I didn't guess.
RVD's when he jumped off the thing and injured Triple H, crushed his trachea.
Yikes.
That he went off the pod and he landed wrong on him, and you could see Triple H looking at him like, "Are you fucking serious right now?" Like choking. It was bad. They had to put one of those where you squeeze the air into their lungs. It was a scary sight. Actually, was.
Clinton got the Google Award tonight, so there you go. There's the lineup for the first ever Elimination Chamber at Survivor Series.
Okay.
Which I didn't know either. So one more final little segment. That was fun. I like looking back.
Different. I suck at life because I got none of it. But whatever.
I would never have gotten any of them if I didn't research them. Our final thing, let's compare the 2 teams and their hometowns that'll be playing in the Super Bowl, people that were born in those hometowns that were pro wrestlers. Kansas City has Butch Reed, Bobby Lashley, Bob Orton Jr., Baron Corbin, and good old Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, nice.
So those are all that were born in Kansas City. There's other that were billed out of Kansas City, but I'm talking about who's born in Kansas City.
I get it.
So now keep in mind these 5 versus
Philly's going to be a lot.
Yeah, here's the ones born in Philadelphia. There's probably more, but these are the ones that I found in 2 different searches. Yuta, Road Warrior, and of course John Laurinaitis too. Raven, Stevie Richards,
Gulak,
Sandman.
Yep, and Sandman. And here's the one I think this is the deciding factor. The Chief, Jay Strongbow, is from Philly. So Philly, I think, wins the
He's not really.
He's from Philadelphia. I was surprised at that too, and let's give the pro wrestling who was born Super Bowl to the Eagles. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good luck, Eagles. I don't think that wasn't a competition at all between those two, but
Go Birds.
And there you go. There's your Super Bowl for this Sunday. Figured it'll be fun just to mix in something a little different for the show. And
no diggity.
Next week, definitely we're going to break down the chamber. It's building up to be one hell of a card, man. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be good times.
But now, as we close in,
At the end of the day.
yeah. Doc, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, enjoy pro wrestling for what it is, for what it's worth. Don't overthink things, folks.
Thank you.
Literally sit back and have a good time with it, and just enjoy wrestling, man. I mean, what a great it's on repeat here at this show. What a great time it is to be a professional wrestling fan. Things are fun, things are happening. Let's just do it.
Yeah, CJ.
At the end of the day, Preston Everest, you are still and always will be a scumbag piece of shit.
Nice. At the end of the day, kind of to build on what Doc says, it's you can like who you want to like. You can hate who you want to hate. Watch whatever shows you want to watch. That's your WrestleSense. And that's what we do here on this channel is let you know. Don't let social media, don't let the past dictate what you like in wrestling. Enjoy it. It's entertainment. It's called sports entertainment for a reason.
Not only that, don't believe every clickbait or internet rumor that you hear or see pictures of, because a lot of times it's exactly that.
It's not as fun to watch wrestling
something.
if you're sitting there thinking shoulda, coulda, woulda. They should have booked it this way. I feel bad for people that watch wrestling that way. I would have done this.
I do.
I knew he would win. But it was,
it's different for me.
Yeah, it's how it like we were talking about last week. The two winners of the Rumbles, we kind of knew they would win, but it's how they got to that point to win that I think was entertaining and fun. So have fun watching wrestling, man. LTD will be live very shortly, folks. We got tag team action tonight, and next week.
Daddy.
Wait a minute, is someone joining us?
I'm at a black and white gala. So no, I am not watching.
You disgust me.
Can I get a oh yeah?
That's better.
That poor kid.
Yeah, see, I'll bring him back every once in a while. I won't.
He just wanted ice cream.
Thank you, Cassie.
He just wanted.
Appreciate it. You guys are awesome, man. Yeah, we got to thank you guys. Every week now, we've been getting over 100 views. You guys have been showing up, having fun with us. So big shout out to everybody in the live chat. You guys are amazing. I really can't stress that enough.
Oh
yeah. Thanks for taking WrestleSense to the next level. See you next week, people. We're out of here. Happy Valentine's Day, Doc.
Yeah.